Who knew that something so simple could be so therapeutic and so reviving and giving you your life back? And that's what I have found this journey to be. And if you notice in a lot of my videos, 80–90% of my videos, I'm doing a lot of the walking and talking. Either I'm catching the sunset or I'm watching the sunset, or it could be in the middle of the day when I have time and my schedule permits to do so. And this has become what started as dragging my feet once upon a time. I was never really a lazy person. I was very active, and I still am till today. And on the regular, I'm knocking out 10,000 steps every single day. And what's the byproduct of this habit and discipline is that if I'm not doing this, if I'm not getting out and getting after it every single day like this, I get more depressed. So, I went from dreading to doing this to now loving the process and loving the joy that it brings and the smile on my face, right? The peace, the calm, the serenity, the clarity that walking brings, And walking is not a difficult exercise or routine for me anymore. And if you have some kind of disability that I'm unaware of, please forgive me. I apologize in advance. I am talking just in generality. If you're able to control and have and able to walk to an extent, then you should be. And ask yourself, why not? Because this is not just endurance, but this is a form of therapy that enables you to find the deeper you, the real you. And I've had many people in my life preach religion, culture, God, right? That's a big one. When I think that this is a very touchy subject, but everyone finds God their own way. And I get the general meaning of people trying to guide each other. But when you force people and, to follow a certain religion and go to a certain religious function, it's you're not going to find many people that actually want to do it. You have to do it because you want to do it, right? And you have to find God yourself. It's an inside journey. It's an internal journey. And outside of my martial arts teacher many years ago, getting me into spirituality through by the vessel of martial arts, which is my foundation, that I did actually lock into that spirituality, but then I fell off again. So I'm saying it in this sense is because I have a repurposed life through walking, if that makes sense. I have encountered some very supernatural things during these walks. And, I think it's insane when I look back at my channel is very small. But when I look at the body of work that I have done, this is less about how many subscribers you have and how many likes, how many comments you have, or, the growth of the channel versus now this has become me against me. I'm getting a lot of allergies now because of the sun, a lot of bugs coming out. This is going to be the last video, and then I'm going to call it. So you got it, right? So this has come down to me against myself, and me going up against my voices. And a lot of times, I have almost remained stuck in a paralysis by overanalysis mode at home. And I talk about this. Some of this is social anxiety. Some of this is general anxiety, right? You talk yourself out of a good thing, of a situation, knowing that it's good for you, but yet you choose to stay indoors, paralyzed on the couch, not able to move for some reason, and you've let the negative self-talk just take over cripple your whole psyche, right? And so the way I have beat all of this is by doing this every single day, by walking on my 2 feet every single day and essentially documenting my life. I don't have to come out and record myself like this every single day, but it's become such a part of my blueprint now, and it brings me such joy and the pleasure around documentation and journaling my growth. This has become a digital diary of my growth, right? You can see my earlier videos. And you can see what I sound like then versus how I've taken a turn, blending and mixing in topics about the modern day dating crisis, the climate. I also know that some of my recent topics, you know, are controversial, but I'm not doing this because it's controversial. I'm doing it because it's the truth. This, people don't want to hear the truth, but if it triggers people, then you're doing something that holds value and needs to be spoken about. So I have pivoted on this channel as such, walking, talking, sharing my journey, documenting the progress, trying to inspire you to walk, right? And documenting your own journey, starting your own channel, but most importantly, getting in touch with the best version of yourself that's hiding in there, right? A lot of this is the mental game. This is where I found spirituality, by awakening through this journey here. It's recentered me, guys. Like it literally recentered me, my whole spirit. And I was not in a good place 8, 9, 10 months ago. But what I realized is that the more I walked, the more I talked, the more I walked and talked and recorded like this, something started happening because the way you talk to yourself is very important, right? The story you're telling yourself is very important, not just outside, externally, but internally. So a lot of my thoughts that I am able to project across and communicate to you all on camera is unplanned. It's off script, off rip, and it's everything that's going on inside my system. What I'm doing is I'm just letting it out as I walk. And it becomes like a therapy session for me. Each time I do this, I'm like, wow, I am aligning with my higher self, because it takes a lot of courage. One, to start a journey. It takes a lot of courage to start, right? And if you've started, right, then you got to keep going, guys. If you've started, you got to keep going, because your breakthrough comes through these agonizing moments where you have a kind of a stop, halt, pause, collapse, right? And what matters is those all of the above. It's okay to fail. There's no such thing as failure. You learn from it. But I think when you hit a roadblock, a mental block, you got to keep going. You got to still keep showing up. And if you can incorporate walking as a staple every single time, no matter what happens, you start looking at this as a therapeutic journey, you're going to walk yourself out of all kinds of ruts. It's almost a guarantee. And every walk, every day is a different journey, is a different story, different destination. And sometimes, that saying that life is short, for me, when I do these walks, to me, it starts appearing as life is long. It's all in the eye of the beholder, right? It's how I look at it. It's how I look at it. God, man, there's an amazing moonlight. You can see the moon on the mountains there, but if I turn this around, the camera won't zoom in or capture that. But wow, it's amazing. And the fact that I am here in Las Vegas, living in my dream city, dream state, able to do this, it's you can't get much better than this, guys. So I can be part of the problem, or I can be part of a movement that's adding to people's lives. And I know that I want to acknowledge that I've gotten some one-off messages where people are inspired by the walk and talk style videos. And I'm not the only one doing this on YouTube. There's quite a few recently I've come across, ironically sharing their stories about marriage, dating, divorce, the pain. And the modern dating climate right now is actually a thriving topic, trending topic, and a very real topic too. And me being 49, nearly 50 years old, you just don't get to this place, right? And you just arrive here and not be able to tell a story, which is what I say every time. I have a bag full of stories, a bag full of life experiences that I drop and I share with you all from time to time. So, like I said, controversial sometimes, but that's just part of life. You're not going to be everyone's cup of tea, right? But again, coming back to the topic, this is spirituality for me. This is like me going to church. This is my church, right? It's probably why I show up every single day. Can't wait for the sunset, right? I can't wait for the heat to subside, and I come out with my camera. I start documenting, recording myself, and putting out the work. Like, the work needs to be done, and the walk needs to be walked. So you might as well walk and document your journey, right? You might as well put yourself out there and ask yourself, what are you scared of? What's holding you back? Why aren't you walking? Why aren't you walking? What is it going to take for you to get moving, put this into action? Because this is, if you quickly said, right, intermittent fasting and walking, the combination is deadly, guys. Like, you will get into the best shape of your life if you are able to accommodate all of these factors, right? Because there's a few moving parts that enable you to become the best version of yourself. So if you want to get lean, right? If you want to get in shape, back to that topic now, you do it through every single day. The compounding effect, you show up, show out, give an honest 20, 30 minutes of walking every single day, and watch what happens to you, specifically the mind, right? Specifically the mind. This is why I say, for me, walking helped unlock a lot of mysteries, a lot of pain, and helped me see life a lot differently, right? I'm at a stage in my life where I'm getting news, like I shared, of people getting diagnosed with certain health conditions, and life's just taken a turn, right? Everything was going great the other day, and now they wake up and there's a condition they have to deal with, and all of those problems. So no one is immune to anything, and the way you can control all of this is what's actually in front of you. And what's in front of you is, you have time. If your circumstances allow to do so, what you can do is you can actually walk. Okay, so I hope you found this helpful. And I'm losing sunlight, so I think I am going to try to call it, unless I find good lighting on the other side of this park range. Guys, until the next video, thanks for watching. If you're motivated, say something. Love to hear from you. Next video, I'm out.